to me. They had already selected me, but they wanted to be sure that I was good enough for the UN. They want to be sure that my behavior, the way I deal with people, I deal with people who may be hostile to me. I deal with people from enemy country within inverted commas. There are no enemies to me. All are my interactions with people, my behavior, etc. was appropriate. So it was not an interview at all. There's a Malayalam film called Sushma. Sushma. Sushma means a microscope. Those 3 days I was under the microscope. They were watching me full time. So the second day or third day, I was there for 3 days. The second day, the office closes at 5 o'clock. So I was doing some work and it was 5:30. And my boss, immediate boss, who later turned out to be my immediate boss, at that time he was like a cook. He came back because he had forgotten something. He walked past my room and he saw me sitting and working. He came back and said, "So where are you doing?" I said, "I was completing this work there." He said, "Here we work from 9 to 5. Now, if you can't complete your work by 5, then either we have given you more work than you can take, or you are highly inefficient." In India, the culture is opposite. In Bangalore, they work till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. There, half an hour, I was sitting in the office. They said, no, here the work is from 9 to 5. You better do your work within that period. If you are here at 5:30 or 6, it means that you're not competent for your job. You are inefficient, you're not good enough for your job. Or maybe we made a mistake, we gave you something more than you can. That was a revelation to me. Because in India, the later you go, "Sir, I'm sorry, Saab, maine kal 10 baje tak kaam kiya." That's a plus point. No, there it is not. If you are working till 10 o'clock, there's something wrong with you. So the culture is very different. The work culture is different. When you work, you work. There's no question of it's 9 o'clock, you can come by maximum by 9:05, 9:10. Otherwise, it's bad. You are noted. And the system of recruitment, since you asked about the UN, I came to speak about the IAS, but since the recruitment system is very different. They don't have this exam where 10 lakh people write and ultimately 80 are selected for the IAS and 700 for the IPS and so on. It's not a very objective system. It's a highly subjective system. Highly subjective system means I am in charge of the IAS office in Cambodia. I have to recruit somebody. This is process according for we have a job description which is vetted, examined at many levels to be clear that the job description fits the type of work we want out of the candidate who is selected. So the job description is very clear. The job to finalize the job description, it will take 3 or 4 months. So because there's a lot of people giving inputs and you're putting it all together, because ultimately you are judged, your performance is analyzed by your job description. So job description is decided, your salary scales, everything is decided. Then we call for applications. So let's say 150 applications come in, out of that we shortlist, say 10. There are no written tests for an interview. Now the interview is very special. Now if the job is in my office and I'm going to be the boss of that person who is selected, there will be a chairman who will be different, who will be my boss or something. The chairman will sit there. I will be certainly an important part of the panel. There will be a couple of others. So after this interview or during the interview itself, the chairman will give some observations. We all ask questions like any other. But after the interview is over, after we have selected we have interviewed all the 5 or 10 or whatever and given marks. Finally, the chairman and the others will turn to me and say, "Joseph, she or he is going to be your employee. You select. We think that these 4 are good or these 5 are good. We feel that these 3 are bad. Don't select them. Yeah, that 2 are here and there. It's okay. But these 3 or 4 or 5 are good. Now the final selection is yours. The entire responsibility for selecting the staff in my office is mine. Now that seems very good, but it is loaded. Responsibility. Sorry, come again. Responsibility is the 100% responsibility. If tomorrow after 6 months I say, "Look, this girl is terrible, she's not working, she's coming late," I say, "You select it or you select it." It's your responsibility. It is not the type of objective selection that we have in the service. It's a very subjective selection. They'll say, "Okay, these out of these 10 people, these 3 people." They don't say good. Ignore them. These two seem okay, but the other 4 or 5, they seem good. Now the final selection. And the entire responsibility for selecting the right person for that job falls on the head of the office, whoever he or she works with. And if things go wrong, it's fine. You are a bad selector. You are a poor judge of men and women. You are a poor judge of Joseph. We told you that these are the plus points of that person. These are the negative points. You selected so and so. So the entire, if things go wrong, and I say after 6 months that he or she is not working, then the responsibility is mine. Why do you select? You make her work, or you make him work. So it's a very different system. In the IAS, it's completely different. Nobody knows you. That's a tremendous advantage. 10 lakh people write. You have to have that objective. And the advantage of the IAS still, coming back briefly to the IAS, is that still, in spite of everything that's happened in the last 1 year, that girl getting in by giving her. See, what she did was to falsify her caste. I think she gave an OBC certificate and got it. It was not something that was wrong with the UPSC exam process. The exam process, to my mind, is still a highly well done a system that has got a great deal of integrity. Nobody has been able to pierce the exam system like they do sometimes here in the Kerala State PSC run after notice. Tabulating, that doesn't happen. Touch wood, so far in the IAS. They won't know who you are. Your paper is being sent to somebody from Bihar or Ratnagiri. Ratnagiri's paper will be going to Assam. And that person who is writing it has no, marking your question answer paper has no clue what you are. Are you from Kerala? Are you from Kashmir? Are you a Muslim? Are you a Hindu? Are you in Africa? I mean, whatever. Are you a Kashmiri? So it's something. Yes, yes. You want me to come around? Another 5 minutes, I'll round up. So it's a completely different system. It's a very objective system. Yeah, yes. So in spite of anything, nobody is going to know you're from Kerala unless you write in Malayalam. Now everybody is writing. How many of you are planning to write in Malayalam? Anybody planning to write in the? Yeah, that's good, because you see the problem with writing in Malayalam is that the moment you write in Malayalam, it's going to be examined by a Malayalam. So, and the whole tendency is for me, if I'm a Malayali, looking at the answer sheet in Malayalam to give slightly more marks. So when a vernacular paper comes in, there's always a tendency to, if you're given 80 marks, to feel okay. But we may not deserve 80 because, whereas if you write in English, it goes anywhere in the country and nobody knows who is writing. If you write in Malayalam, whoever is writing it knows you are from Kerala. So there's a how do you say that? There shouldn't be, but there can be an unconscious bias in your favor. When you write in English, that doesn't happen at all. So that is a big advantage as far as writing in English. And the IAS civil service written part, interview parts for you. I don't like your face, but that doesn't happen. But the written part is still a very, very it's a very above board system, which nobody has really been able to pierce so much. You could be the Prime Minister's son, you could be the President's daughter. Maybe in the interview, when they say, oh, you are Murmu's daughter, but you might, or you might be the son of a former cabinet secretary or something. 1 or 2 of them may be tempted to be slightly, but that's only the total marks in the interview, which come up 435. Almost 270 out of 2,150 or something. What is the total mark? 2025. So it's nothing, just a small percentage. So even if they give 5 marks extra, 5 marks less, it doesn't matter. The written part is very important. So, and then there should be, as I said again, I'm repeating, be specific about what. But clear. If you don't, even if you don't know much, whatever little you know, try and ensure that is very clear. And build on. I spoke of Cambodia, you read the book. Okay, spoke of Indochina. What is the relationship between Laos and Cambodia? Why does it have why is the India part comes? He answered that very cultural. It's a huge cultural. Many of the words in the language, read my book. Many of, for example, the Khmer is the name of the language. The people are also called Khmers. The country is Cambodia, like Kerala is the name of the state. We are called Malayalis. The people are called, the language is called Malayalam. The people are called Malayalis. Similarly, Cambodia or Kampuchea. Kampuchea is part of the Puranas Cambodia is the country. The people are called Khmers, Khmers, and the language is called Khmer. Khmer language is a lot of Sanskrit roots. A man is called Log, L-O-K, Log. The Log in Hindi. The woman is tribe, Stri. School is Vishyalaya. Instead of Vidyalaya, the pronunciation is different. Vishyalaya. A university like this is Mahavishyalaya. Very, very Sanskrit, very. The most surprising thing is you have snake boards there. I thought only Kerala had snake boards and these races. You have beautiful snake boards, and those races are conducted very, very methodically, very professionally, not like what you see in Arabic. Some of you have seen it. And then most interestingly, they love rice. They eat rice 3 times a day. Now it's changing its noodles and all that. In the Indo-Chinese element that we call, unfortunately, now the Indian element is being suppressed. The Chinese element, Cambodia is full of Chinese. They are investment. So you see a lot of people eating noodles these days for breakfast. Otherwise, rice eaters there, rice and fish. That is their main thing. And you will be surprised their breakfast is what we used to have. Our rice. And you know what they call it? They call it kanji. It's very, I mean, the only place where the rice fluid that we eat in the morning is called kanji. There we call it kanji in Kerala as well, for those who come from Ramadan. And I think he's calling me, so much as I would like to continue this, I said it will be a conversation that I'm talking too much. So it's a pleasure to meet you all. My immediate advice to you is focus on it. Have a curiosity. Why is it called Indonesia? Why is it called Vietnam? Why is it called Canada? Ask yourself these questions. And today, when I was writing for it, if I had to find answers, I would go to a public library, spend hours. Today, you get to do this. All that you need to do is, why is Canada called Canada? So it's so easy. So do that. Try and be curious. Ask yourself questions. Why did I call Canada? Why is it called a paperback? Ask yourself questions. I mean, you might know the answers for many of them. Keep asking questions and try to find the correct answers. Civil service you got to write an answer in 10 lines or 20, 15 lines in 7 minutes or 10 minutes. How many questions are there? 20 questions in 2.5 hours. 3 hours. So you got about 10 minutes. You got to know the answer quite well. You have to be clear, and I hope you're practicing. You're giving them the practice of writing. See, better than carry on that. We will be very good maybe. But if you can't write that in 10 sentences within 7 minutes, everything you know is useless. So I think it's very important for you to train them to write. That's very important. When we go and sit there, even I feel tense. So even if you know something, unless you really practice writing it, you spend time on your own things, you come out. So you're not able to answer the 24 questions, 20 questions. You couldn't answer it. I don't have the time because they're waiting. It's a pleasure meeting you all. I think I'll come again one day. Thank you so much. All. See you all in the IAS. Bye. See you. So try and read the book. Read the book. I have written another book, which is on my experience in starting the elections in Trikkaripur. The picture of Kola Bela. The Pele Trikkaripur Chora Brenda Kadagal Maripur. The car of the IAS election ceremony. Slightly political, this is but read the book on Cambodia if you are interested in a political book, then it's not political. I also look at the development of the Kalipur has tremendous tourism potential. So much of development that's not happening. So read the book, you can ignore the political part, but there are more than there, this guy. Okay, for those who know Malayalam, we can like the selling point when it is said the Pustam is very the contents of the book Malayalam. It's the contents of the book is fairly well presented, even where I have criticized what has happened to me in Calcutta. It's been a sober criticism. So read both the books. Absolutely.